What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about how the Atlanta Falcons can fix their pass rush. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about how the Atlanta Falcons can fix their pass rush. Right now on the season, the Atlanta Falcons are dead last in sacks with only 6 sacks on the season. Good news is that we're currently in first place in the NFC South, sitting at 4-3, tied with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but we do own the tiebreaker. And personally, I do believe that this coaching staff with Raheem Morris under his regime, this is his first year as our head coach. He's done a good job at establishing his presence and things of that nature, establishing the scheme of this defense, both on offense and on defense. I really feel like these players are buying in, and I really feel like the Falcons have put together a really good roster. Now, it is a couple things that I think that the Falcons can do to improve the pass rush, because right now it is lackluster. And you guys know that I'm a guy that talks about the trenches all the time, being good on the offensive line, being good in your defensive line. And I really feel like that's one of the biggest issues right now on the defensive side of the ball, is that we're not getting pressure consistently. We're not getting the quarterback on the ground. And it is kind of alarming, even though we're winning games, because if you want to get far in the playoffs, you're going to have to be able to create negative plays. You're going to have to be able to stop the run. You're going to have to be able to get the quarterback on the ground when it's all said and done. Now, I do feel like the Falcons have the pieces to possibly have a solid pass rush, starting with Matthew Judon, who's our best pass rusher. But some of the things that I would like to see this defensive coaching staff do, as far as Raheem Morris and Jimmy Lake, is bring more pressure. I've talked about this over the last couple of weeks, that we're going to have to blitz a little bit more. We're going to have to play a little bit more man-to-man and tight coverage down the field. But we're going to have to make adjustments. One thing that I'm noticing with this Falcons team is when we do bring pressure or bring blitzes, we're not mixing up our blitzes. We're only bringing pressure from like the A and B gap. We're not doing a good job of mixing it up, bringing corners on cat blitzes. We're not doing a good job of sending linebackers from different angles of the defense. And I really feel like that will help this defense get more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Right now, I do feel like we're kind of showing our hand, and teams kind of know when we do blitz what type of blitz package we're going to bring. We seen earlier this year D. Alfred get a sack on a cat blitz in one of the games that we played, and I really feel like we were able to get the sack is because when you bring pressure, you want to keep teams off balance. You don't want them to be able to pick up on where the pressure is coming from. And usually when you see pressure get to a quarterback, it's usually confusion along the offensive line, as guys don't know, who to pick up on the offensive line. And usually it's some type of blown coverage on the offensive line where a guy comes free. So I really feel like the first thing that the Falcons can do to generate more pressure is start executing more blitz packages, start installing more blitz packages during the week. So when the game comes up, you can send pressure, but it doesn't always have to come from the A and B gap. It doesn't always have to be your linebackers necessarily bringing the pressure. You can bring safeties on blitzes. You can bring corners on blitzes. And I really feel like that'll catch teams off guard. Now, the second way I think that the Falcons can improve as far as pass rush is possibly go out and sign someone. Or trade for one of these big name pass rushers. We know guys like Max Crosby could be on the market. We know guys like Garrett could be on the market. Now, can we fit these guys under the salary cap would be the question. But I definitely think that Terry Fontenot should be very aggressive, because we have a really good team. And while we still have all of this talent and guys like Kirk Cousins, who was getting up there in age, I really feel like this is a very important year for the Atlanta Falcons within the next 2 years to try to make a deep playoff push and possibly get to a Super Bowl. So I would go out, make phone calls if I'm Terry Fontenot to possibly bring in a Myles Garrett, possibly bring in a Max Crosby to put on the opposite side of Matthew Judon, because we know that these guys can win in one-on-one situations because Grady Jarrett, because David Onyemata and those guys on the inside of this defensive line are being double teamed, because guys like Matthew Judon at times are going to be double teamed. If we were able to bring in, a legitimate star-studded pass rusher, a guy that can get you 10 sacks a season, opposite of Matthew Judon, I do think that that will help the pass rush as well. And then the third way that I think that this Atlanta Falcons team can possibly generate more pressure is we're going to have to divvy up these rotations. I really feel like right now they're experimenting up front with the defensive line in that front four of what guys should be starting, what guys should be playing together, and when to rotate these guys. For one, I do believe that we're rotating these guys up front too much. I understand you don't want to wear out guys like Grady Jarrett. You don't want to wear out guys like Matthew Judon. You don't want to wear out guys like David Onyemata. But those guys should be playing more often than not. Right now, I feel like they're rotating these guys a little bit too fast and a little bit too much on drives. And because Grady Jarrett is an impact player, you should want him playing majority of the snaps, especially in critical situations. Guys like Matthew Judon, there's times where I don't see him out there on the field. It's times where I don't see David Onyemata on the field. And I really feel like that's a big issue as well, is when teams are starting to get rhythm, is when our star-studded guys on the bench, when we've rotated these guys out. Now, do I think it's a problem with rotating guys on the defensive line? I don't. I think it's a good idea to keep those guys fresh, but I don't think that we have to rotate them as much as they're rotating these guys up front. And with the starting rotation of guys, I really feel like they haven't found the right mix of guys on the defensive line to play together. Personally, I would start Matthew Judon on the edge. I would start David Onyemata and Grady Jarrett on the inside at that nose and 3-tech position. And then on the opposite side edge, I probably would have James Smith-Williams. I would rotate Ruka Rororo. I would rotate Zach Harrison. To me, those are the three guys that possibly should be rotated on that opposite side. And then recently we had Damone Harris, who played last week as well and did a solid job. So that's pretty much the three ways that I think that this Falcons team can generate more pressure. Is going to be bringing more blitz packages, unexpected blitz packages. So be a little bit more exotic with your blitzes. The second thing is go out and sign a big name guy that can possibly come in and give you a spark along that defensive line and in that pass rush category. And then the third way is find the right mix of guys to play together. Right now, I don't think that they're doing a good job of playing the right four guys up front together. I really feel like Grady Jarrett, Judon, and the Big O, David Onyemata, I feel like those three guys should be in that starting rotation. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on this video. Give me your thoughts on how you think we could generate more pass rush. But I'm going to have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.